Peace. Yo, 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 what it do? What's good? You are here once again at Respect the Goats, where we, the guys, the ladies, we sit here and we have conversation. These conversations do turn into debates and opinions, because everybody's opinion does matter. Respectfully, we do not disrespect each other, curse each other out, anything of that nature. Not saying you can't curse, you can. Just don't curse at other people within the room because, well, like I said, we do respect each other. We are here every other Tuesday at 6 p.m. You can also check out GOAT TV at Ruko TV. Is that correct? Am I correct? Let me know if I'm correct. Double XL. Okay, I don't think X can hear me or we can't hear X. P.
He has the GoatVerse app,
Okay.
Roku TV,
Okay.
and the fire.
Okay. Um, but we are here today to do what we do. We got some great topics coming up. COP, phrase. We'll monetize all of that information to you guys as we go and we take off on this adventure. We're
It's
going
in
to
the
have a
chat.
good time, man. We're going to have a good time. I do see, I think it's like two things in the chat right now. Okay, yeah, I see how you did it. So, I'm going to let my man Phrase definitely introduce himself. I'm Spalls, chicken with the rice with the chicken. Phrase, let the people know who you is, my brother.
Know what time it is. Catch me if you trying to see what the conspiracy feel
I
like.
don't think nobody joins.
Can you hear
Yo,
me?
yo.
I can't hear Phrase. I can hear you. X Phrase, we can't hear you.
What about now? That's better. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
There
you
we
now.
go.
Hey, I don't know what's going on there. Look, I'm gonna make it quick. Adjust my settings real quick. Let's go ahead and hop into that NFL predictions. Get the light work out the way.
NFL prediction. As far as the Super Bowl winner, playoffs, what we talking about? What we
Nah, nah.
talking
Let's
about?
just talk about the season first. It's too early. If it's Cowboy fans in here, they gonna say they gonna win the Super Bowl. So let's just talk about the season.
Well, I think it's going to be a great season. I think we're going to see some exciting things. Some new things are going to occur across the NFL, especially with this running back situation. It seems like the running backs are being locked out. They don't want to pay them top dollar anymore. If you guys have been reading up on things of that nature, my one prediction is Lamar Jackson will pretty much just be Lamar Jackson. He will crumble.
Which means he's gonna get injured in the midseason.
He's going to get injured when it all counts, and he's not going to be there for the big game. And it's going to be my NFL prediction for the year.
Let me chance to do some things they haven't done in eons. I feel like the Bills is the biggest threat to Kansas City. But when it's all said and done, we still are in the Patty Mahomes era. And I don't think nothing can change that butt injury. This is Patty Mahomes' league. He is the only one in position to give Tom Brady a run for that GOAT. Because he's still young. He got multiple Super Bowls under his wing. He's not 30 yet. Yo, Pat's crazy, man. And it's still his league, yo. They said when Tyrone Hill left that they weren't going to do nothing. And what they made everybody look like fools. It's still Patty's league. That's all I got to say.
Okay, I like that opinion. I like that
Tyrone
opinion.
Hill? You
Phrase, how
mean
you
Tyreek
feeling,
Hill?
Tyreek?
Yeah, who I say?
Tyrone Hill,
You
nigga,
say
that nigga
Tyrone.
played for the 76ers.
For the Sixers, yeah, I'm bugging. I'm bugging. That might be his daddy, though. They look alike.
Yo,
That
stop
boy
it.
crazy. He crazy.
Nah, bro. I don't.
Anybody else? 450. What you feeling about this NFL season, man? Give us one of your best predictions of the year.
Ah, well, I'm a part of the Bills Mafia. Been that way since I was a youngin'. So I'm not one of those guys that just kind of got in the mix with the Bills over these last few years. But I say that to say, of course, I hate to admit our biggest obstacle is going to be my homeboy. And, as dope as we are, and we've always seemed to find a way to, when it really come down to the wire with them and and the Chiefs and whatnot. But outside of that, we're gonna run the AFC. We're gonna dominate. We'll have at least a winning record. I'm not really overly thinking what that Aaron Rodgers is gonna make that big of an impact on the Jets. I just don't see it. For some reason, I don't know. Some
Mm.
people just seem to get in their own way. But again, I ain't the expert on it, but it's just my thought.
All right, all right. XX, what's good? Tell me what you feeling about the NFL season, man, and give me your best prediction on the come up.
Hey, you open it up with the Cowboys. It ain't much for me to
Ooh,
say.
okay. So is that good or bad? Is that good or bad though? Is that are we saying y'all
Hey,
the Cowboys are
it,
already
it's
eliminated?
it's typical Cowboy faction. You never know what's gonna happen. It's gonna look good. It can fail. It can go any direction.
Well, I
I,
expect the realness.
I predict that the Cowboys will come in third in the ACC.
Man,
I ain't even mad at you. Hey, hey,
I'm
look,
trolling,
bro.
man. I'm trolling. I'm trolling.
Hey, look. Much respect. I can't even say nothing, bro. I'm just all I can do is wait and see. That's all I can do, dog. I'm
I
42
say it.
and I've been going through it for years now. So all I
Y'all
can do
got
is
all
just
the
wait and
pieces, though.
see.
Y'all got all the pieces. You just got to put it together, man.
understood. And let's go to one of his NFC East rivals going to COP in the New York Giants.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Hey man, shout out to Big Blue. You understand? We making some adjustments. I really don't know how we're gonna look. But we'll see when the season pops off. The Eagles in
Yo,
my division is still gonna be the team to beat. Because
forgot about the Eagles.
they basically got their same squad. And I think Lamar Jackson gonna put numbers up. I think he's gonna be worth the money this year. That's my take.
Mm, okay, okay. Did I miss anybody with an NFL prediction?
Black. Phrase.
Phrase like football? He look like he still play the tiny hoop thing. What's the little hoop that the mommy buy with the red joint and the white backboard?
You back? You back yet?
That's supposed to be
I
your partner. That's supposed to be your partner,
I
Phrase.
got
Say, do you?
I,
Nah, cause he
I
been
got
taking
it crack
L's by
good.
himself. Like I've been winning mine. Like I understand why he feel left out. So
Hey,
meanwhile,
I respect it. That's why we here.
I'm a Vikings fan, so I ain't really Vikings is stressful. So I'll wait till it's around the end of the season, and we usually win it or not based on the kicker. So that's just how that's gonna go. But I definitely feel like Lamar about to go crazy. He finally got weapons. The thing is, nobody is really uh nobody is really proven to stay healthy. Lamar is probably the most healthy out of all of them, but as far as all his wide receivers, they're either unproven or they not proven. Um, Either they can stay healthy or just haven't been in the league that long. Far as
You
Patty,
know, you know who?
huh?
Patty, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Nah, yeah, I was just gonna say just like kind of what you said. Like it's pretty much him. After Tom Brady left, I don't really think. Now I truly believe Jalen, as long as he can stay how he was, if he's ascending, if he doesn't get any worse, I feel like it's going to be them two essentially for the next years to come. And Lamar has that ability. It's just he don't have a team. So as long as they have a team, they've already proven that they can go there. So as long as they don't regress, I think it's those two, Jalen and Patty.
Wow, I'm hearing a lot about. I'm hearing a lot about Lamar, Jalen. I even heard a little Aaron Rodgers. but nobody has said anything about Joe Burrow. Nobody.
Why would we?
Okay. Ah.
You,
Okay.
I mean, is that your team?
Ah. Okay.
Yeah. It's Patty's league, yo.
It's not.
Has Joe
It's not
won a
yet.
Super Bowl?
Huh?
It's not yet.
Has Joe won a Super Bowl?
No, Joe has not won a Super Bowl. No, Joe has not won a Super
You know,
Bowl.
Patty been to 3. He won 2 and lost 1.
Listen to my argument. My argument.
He been to the AFC Championship. How many times?
Listen to my argument though. My argument was that nobody mentioned, out of all the names y'all mentioned, nobody said nothing about Joe Burrow. Let's go to facts. Let's go to facts. Joe Burrow did what? How many games have Patty beat Joe? Joe only lost to Pat Mahomes one time.
When it counted.
That's cool. No. What do you mean when it counted?
He went off to win a Super Bowl.
Janet Jackson had a song called "What Have You Done for Me Lately,"
Okay.
and Patty just won a Super Bowl
Okay, that's cool. Understand that.
without Tyreek Hill.
Joe Burrow is his kryptonite. As long as you got Andy Reid and a receiver that can run fast,
How can you say that
it's
based
okay.
off 3 games?
bro.
It ain't like
It's
it's boxing.
Hey, but look, hey, yo, Bond, you got a point because Chicago had a kryptonite too. It was called the New York Knicks, and that little light skinned dude used to hit all the threes, but they never made it to the finals though. But they used to get Bulls hell.
No, Joe.
You talking about John Stocks?
Yeah, I hated John Stockton
Yeah.
because he'd be on fire every time they played the Bulls.
He was trash.
They played the Bulls.
He did show up for the Bulls though. I ain't gonna.
Yeah,
lie.
he did. He did,
Every
bro.
time though, every time. Who was checking him?
That little mustache twist up. He started shooting them threes. Where did you get that shot from? 'Cause he was trash. That was trash. But that's our NFL predictions for the day. Let's move on. Give me something else, Fred.
Let's keep it in NY. What's going on with that riot? Casanat wildin'. Or
I'm gonna
is
definitely let Pete go ahead and break this one down. I'm gonna get
Then
my
I
thoughts
sent-
together.
Then I sent you who I sent this story to.
I don't know. That
I
might
got
have
the
been,
story,
that
but
might have been me.
I want to get my
I
thoughts
get into
together.
it.
I got
I get
thoughts.
into it now. That might have been me. So,
Yeah, I'm about to say because I don't know the YouTuber name.
So YouTube streamer Casanat, black, like imagine Lil Wayne if he was more dark skinned back in the day and about 6 inches shorter. That's Casanat, right? He was on Twitch just doing wild, stupid stuff. Essentially, the numbers came up, people started watching. So now he has a crazy influence, crazy following. Just won Streamer of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. So with that being said, he's like, hey, I want to do something for the community. I kind of want to do something to give back. Put up a tweet or a message or something like that to New York, like, look, I'm giving out a PlayStation. Y'all come outside. And come outside, they did. Everybody in fucking New York came outside. This nigga had intersections shut down, whole city blocks not able to move, no deliveries able to come through, all types of things. Arrests, I think it's about 60 people that got arrested. Broke out in a riot, windows was getting broken, cars getting stampeded, stuff set on fire, all for a PlayStation while he is sitting in his car comfortably away from all the madness. Because obviously, when he got there and seen all those people, he said, I didn't expect this. He probably came outside at some point, but it's not too much video of him outside, if any video of him outside, because I haven't seen it. So it looks like charges was brought against him for inciting the riot. What are the thoughts on this? I have a few different thoughts, but open-ended question. Should we feel any type of way about that? Should anybody have that type of power? Are people overreacting? And it's a lot of different ways we can go. So what are initial thoughts here?
My initial thought is this: if he has a solid lawyer, he should beat whatever charges because I don't think he did it out of malice. I understand what happened on the back end of it, but I think he's going to learn from it. I don't see malice. That's all I got on this, and I'm gonna wait to talk about the real ride at Alabama. That's the one I want to talk about.
I thought that's what we were talking about, so I don't know nothing about this story. I haven't
He
heard.
said,
nothing
"What's your thoughts, yo?"
I don't even.
I thought you was the
It's-
rice with the chicken and the chicken
it's-
with the
it's-
rice, yo.
it's-
Where you at on the group
They
chat?
showed it the
Everything be
chicken
on the
is-
group chat, chicken with the rice. This is
it's-
why you are not the. Oh, hey,
This
this is why
is
he's not the greatest, yo.
This
This is why you're not the greatest.
this is not it's not up my creek. Like it doesn't. I haven't
People
even heard
from your
about it.
hometown of New York got hurt. You don't care, yo. People got arrested.
Hey,
People
Ma-
stood on your auntie's
Hey,
car
hold
and
on,
did the
hold
Soldier
on,
Boy
hold on,
and
hold on. My mama ain't called me with no problems, and my grandma in the bed every day by 6 o'clock. So I ain't worried. It is what it is. I'm gonna let somebody else talk about it because I don't. It didn't. I don't even. Did it make world news?
Yeah,
This is-
It made national news.
yes, national news, man. It happens in New York. where
New
you
York
used to be
was
from.
shut
Now-
down. All of
Right,
downtown
talk about
was
it, Frank.
shut down. Like I don't like. All right, so
What-
let me.
How y'all
imagine
feel
this.
about it?
This is Union Square, Vaughn. You know what that's at?
Yeah,
Like-
but that usually shuts down for any little thing
No, this
on
ain't.
almost any
It's
given day.
It's a regular person giving away a PlayStation. Now, imagine if New Year's Eve was taking place. That's Union Square doesn't shut down like that. New Year's Eve is globally, like people come from other countries to New York. That's how many
Yep.
people was out there. Like literally, they showed pictures and you could see people until you couldn't see anymore. Like it wasn't like, oh, I can see where
Praise.
they stop and it's the street. Like it was looking like Coachella
Praise.
out there.
Let me ask you this, Phrase. Do you feel like he should be charged?
Nah, not at all.
Okay.
Like nah, because I mean, all he said was come outside. Like you don't know what your response is going to be. How did I know they was going to be outside?
So
Facts, facts.
what you're telling me is he's a social media influencer or something?
Bro, he go on the internet and do stupid stuff. He just go live and talk. You know what I'm saying? He might have some. Don't get me wrong. He might interview. He might have Blueface up there or some other type of celebrity or rapper up there. Like he'll have guests and stuff like that. But it didn't start like that. It was pretty much him watching videos, him playing games. Then more people came. He started doing some entertainment type stuff, and it just kind of grew. You know what I mean? He just kind of grew his brand, but he grew it enough that way. Enough people, or at least in his hometown, know about him. I think in the world know about him.
So he is from New York City.
Yeah.
So how many followers does this man have? How many followers?
Probably a couple million.
He has a couple million followers.
Yeah, if we talking about all platforms,
Oh, yeah,
probably.
he going to jail.
No,
He going to jail.
he might, but he might
He
not.
going to jail,
How?
bro. Because it's 2023. Do you understand the power of social media? And then you telling me this man had millions of followers,
Well,
and he said he was giving away a PlayStation. We talking about 2023 when people don't even think about if they should stand up or sit down and piss right.
What's the crime though?
Hold on. The crime is he incited a riot. That's what they're gonna charge him with.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna charge him
They're
with,
gonna
but that
charge
doesn't
him
mean
with-
that he's
It's not-
gonna be
it's not gonna
convicted.
stick. Not gonna
It's
stick.
not gonna be
It's not gonna
convicted.
stick.
Like, you know what I'm
Can I
saying?
say
Like,
something?
It's gonna stick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Millions of followers, bro.
Did Trump incite a riot when he told the good old boys to stand up and charge the Capitol?
But he told them to do that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
he essentially incited an action.
I'm
with that. He just-
I'm saying, but did Trump get charged?
I mean, well, they still got.
Hell
If
no.
he get a good lawyer, you know what I'm saying? These people got their own mind, though. And he do got a following. He's a gamer. I'm a gamer. I got a YouTube channel and everything. I'm not as successful as him. But yeah, he got a strong following. Very strong following. You can't charge that man with that shit like that.
Hell no. That's what I'm saying. As long as he don't run with a court opponent, he'll be all right.
Yeah, he got a couple million. Man, he
Hey,
got
hey,
bodyguards
I
taking
got
him
some
out.
game. I don't think he'll be charged, but I do think he'll be fined because
Absolutely.
you do have to organize like that could be considered an event. You can't just say I'm doing a giveaway and tell people where to meet you and not have no organization. So they are gonna blame him for the property damage. Do I think it's gonna be a charge like he's going? But I think he's gonna eat that fine because it's
That
property
can be
damage
true.
based off something that they came because you told them to come. That's like me saying, "Hey man, everybody meet me at the park." All right, well you organize everybody at the park. Look what they did to the park. So I could say, well, I didn't know they was going to do that. But at the same time, that's public property. I have to have permission to do what I said I was going to do if I'm organizing people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just a
So
thought.
that goes to my point of him being charged. He has to be convicted to pay a fine. He will be convicted to pay a fine. He will serve some
I could
don't try
see,
to.
I could see him paying the fine. I
paying a
see,
fine.
ain't nobody paying fine on that.
He
Let me
try to
tell you,
use that as a
I could,
It
scapegoat
still
real
comes with
quick.
a conviction. It still
because
comes
this
with a
is the thing.
conviction.
Yeah, we live in a country where if you do things by the book, you can almost get away with anything. Think about it. The KKK get licenses they get permits for their marches. Those things are permitted. And police show up to protect them as they march because they go through the proper channels. So I can definitely see a fine.
To get a fine, you must be convicted. Once again, that's my whole point. He's going to be convicted of something. Misdemeanor, something.
All right, man, we got you. Good job, yo. Good job, man.
So y'all don't understand that?
No, we do. We want to go to the next subject.
Go ahead and get into the riverboat.
Oh man. Can I intro this one?
Go ahead.
Hello? I have thoroughly been entertained the last 3 days. If y'all don't know what happened, there was an incident in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, at that, where a ship needed a cruise ship needed a smaller boat to move because it was blocking the boat from parking. And as they were coming in, these people, where they all were Caucasian on the boat, were sticking up middle fingers and saying very disrespectful things and doing things towards the boat. So when they wouldn't move, the co-captain, we thought it was security, but it was not security. It was the co-captain of the ship. Got all and engaged with a conversation, a peaceful conversation, to try to get them to move. Next thing you know, the white man got off the boat and was very aggressive and hit that man. And other white people jumped in and they jumped that man. But little did they know, on the riverboat in front of them was Wakanda. The whole Wakanda was on the boat. And you see what they call him, P? They call him Aquaman. One boy, Aquaman. Shane Murder. I heard so many names. He swam over there. And come to find out, if y'all look real carefully, early, there was a young white boy who was 15 years old who tried to help. And he got struck by the white people on the boat, too. And his parents are pressing charges. I'm glad they are. And so, next thing you know, a load of black people got off that boat and commenced to monkey stomping on white people who jumped on that co-captain of that ship. And our ancestors are happy today. If you have not watched the press release by the police of Montgomery, I advise you to go watch it because you're going to find out some pieces to the story that you may have not known. They got the FBI involved, and there's a chance that this will become a hate crime. It's a lot going on with it. So
break that part down for me right quick. What do you mean? What's going on with the hate crime part? Like, give us the details.
Yeah, six or seven white people jumped a black man because he asked them to move his boat. Mm-hmm. They jumped that man.
Gotcha.
And people came to their defense. Now, to my disdain, one of the black men are being charged. Now, y'all can guess who's being charged.
The one that hit the lady with the chair?
With the chair is going to be charged.
Yeah.
He's going to be charged. But other than that, I am proud because I thought the police did a great job of discerning people going to someone's defense as opposed to just charging everybody. They didn't do that. So I like that. But on the flip side, the captain of Montgomery Police is a black man, and the code dude is a black man. If they was white, this may have ended differently. Let's be honest.
True.
And I don't know if y'all caught this, but did y'all see the name on the riverboat?
No, sir.
It was called Harriet. How's that for poetic justice? So we'll go around the room. I'm gonna start with 450. 450. What are your thoughts on this situation?
Well, I'm not gonna try to make it long-winded or out of the box, but I will say this. There's some people that I used to not know the ins and outs of it, but I hear about like when you deal with like Scientology. And one of the examples that someone tried to use was it's like if you went to a baseball game and got your head, you got hit with the baseball, and now your kids may grow up and at the smell of the hot dogs at the baseball game, their head may hurt. I say that wild example because what they kind of are saying that there are things that just connected. Like for me, I know when I go out in Colonial Williamsburg, there's just something that bubbles up in me. You know what I'm saying? That bubbles as far as like, angry energy or anything like that. So to fast forward to the event, right there when I did a little bit of the research on this specific area on Riverfront at that was an auction block, one of the bigger auction blocks for slaves and things of that nature. So it kind of, what I'm saying is in my mind, in my book, and it's like it didn't take much. Like that event, I'm not saying that like whatever transpired when the security guard threw that hat.
That was the co-captain. He wasn't security. He was the co-captain of the ship.
Okay, the co-captain threw that hat. Something clicked in black folks that they may not have even understood. But yeah, so overall, man, I'm just glad that, of course we stuck together and we don't let no one disrespect each other, disrespect one of ours, you know what I mean? And that's just my overall take as far as I guess they're gonna charge the man that going crazy with the chair, but at the end of the day, man, I got a bunch of ignorant stuff I could say, but I was happy to see it. I'll just say that I was happy to see it. But like I said, that area was like what I'm saying is there's something that be just in your spirit already. So when it happened, they probably didn't understand why they was on the white people ass the way they was.
I like the way he ended that.
Yeah.
I really, really do. Man.
Anybody else? Anybody? Trav. What about Trav? I guess. Trav, what you got on this?
I had stepped away real quick. I apologize.
No, it's all love. But we're talking about the Montgomery, Alabama situation. Are you up there? Hello?
No, I had stepped away right quick, XL.
Okay, just let us know when you're back, brother.
Somebody let class in the building. Shout out to S Class.
Vaughn, what's your thoughts on this, man?
My thoughts on this is you want to try this in a little small town, baby. They tried it in a little small town. And I seen my people come together, man. And I seen a man in a purple shirt, white hat on, if y'all know what I'm talking about. And when I seen him start swinging, he wasn't just punching. He was throwing blows of anger from years and years of oppression. That's what I seen. That's what I seen. It was bigger than I'm about to go hit this boy or hit this man or hit this human in front of me. And I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what was said from the people that was in the small boat to the people that was in the big boat trying to get the small boat out the way. I'm quite sure it might have been some racial slurs going on. I even seen a young male jump off of another boat and swim
Yeah.
to a fight. He
Yeah.
swum to a fight. And that is what I'm talking about. Like we have, okay, I'm not saying this to sound crazy. I'm not saying this to sound crazy. But we have to, as a culture, become racist. I'm not saying we have to hate other people. Racism to me means we take care of us. That's that's what it should mean.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's why the small town, try that in a small town. And I think that was in Alabama, wasn't it? It was in Mobile, wasn't it?
That happened in Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, Montgomery, Alabama. Okay, that's even better.
And you know all the history there.
Yeah, that's even better. So really, they tried it in their own real neck of the woods, and you see how they ended up in 2023. We not going for that, and I love to see that we not going for that. I love to see that. I didn't see 100 cell phones. Don't get me wrong. I know people were still recording, but usually when you see a fight amongst people, you see 100 cell phones. We seen people really rushing to this person's aid to help our brother. And I thought he was security guard. I thought he was. I didn't know.
Me too.
I just seen.
That's why I'm saying the press conference cleared a lot of that up.
I just seen the man take his hat off and throw it in the air. And in my mind, I was just like, whatever his job was, he was ready to lose it that day.
Yeah.
Whatever that man said to him, he was ready to lose his job that day. Just the fact that he threw his hat.
You hit him with the Bobby Smurder, yo.
Yeah, it was real, man. And I loved how we just came together as a people. We wasn't out there to kill, but we definitely was out there to defend. And I really believe that's what we have to do and continue to move forward is being able to defend each other. That is the key.
Yeah. I got it from Black, yo.
Oh, he about to break this down with expertise.
I already know.
All right, so look. I feel like we're entering a very pivotal moment in America's history and us as a black culture. Reason being is some of us we've always come together at different parts in our history. The problem was that we haven't been able to sustain that or grow that to all of our people just because we've always had weak links. And to Von's point, I feel like we crossed the threshold when they had an action behind their feelings. We've always felt like that's not right, you can't do that type of deal. But like he said, it wasn't just phones. There was actions like, hey, you're not going to do that anymore. But if it's one thing that I know, and every black person that I know, that is the main thing why they're scared of us coming together, is that uprising, is that we can't beat you, that we can't. It comes farther back than people even understand. Goes way back to even Hannibal's time. And if you don't know who Hannibal is, it's not Hannibal Lecter. Look up Hannibal of our culture. So he'll kind of that'll kind of break it down. But collectively, I feel like white people will look at that and say, "Damn, they're no longer accepting this shit." And with that, it's either going to be change or false change, but nonetheless it's change to some degree, or it's going to be rebellion. Now we've seen what rebellion looks like in in today's time. And really, the rebellion that we seen was actually orchestrated. I don't really think that most people understand the Black Lives Matters riots mostly had white people. It was black people out there, but it wasn't as much as we think. It was mostly white people. It was directed by white people. Well, not so we think. The leaders are black, but they're paid and they're directed by white people. So everybody kind of pulling the strings isn't of people of our culture. And it's not to say that they have bad intentions. But the thing is, if you're not of my culture, I can't trust your intentions. There is no history of us being able to trust your intentions. So I feel like this point that we're at, if they're seeing that they no longer can do this, and like you said, Vaughn, they're at home. They felt very comfortable for the whole family to jump on him. They felt extremely
Yeah.
comfortable. Like it was.
That's because they didn't know the Harlem Globetrotters was on the boat.
No, but see, that's the thing. They probably did, and did not give a fuck. So when the world, or not the world, but when America is able to see that and witness that on a national scale and see that they're having an uprising, it might be globalized. Some might look at that like, damn, they're tripping down there in Alabama. But if that collective fear goes over our nation, this time in our timeline, wherever we're at, is extremely pivotal about what we do with that.
This that's deep, Black. I really like your thoughts on that. COP.
Hey man, I just want to see racism end, man. But uniting was good, and you gotta watch what you ask for. I think y'all covered all the bases. I can't cook better than y'all.
Man,
Let me hear from Class, and then I want to throw a monkey wrench in our conversation. Class.
Yo. You know what, man? I feel like it kind of had to happen. Just looking at the layout, I talked to my mom about it the day after, and ironically, one of my cousins was on the Harriet boat, and the way he explained it, excuse me, being that they had attempted to dock, from my understanding, those people who had the boat, the small boat, knew that was a place where that particular vessel docks, and regardless of that, decided to be there. They were asked, it was explained, it was known, they didn't care, and the guy definitely, he was a captain on the ship. Excuse me. He tried to say his piece, explain what was going on, re-explain it. It got emotional. There were words that were exchanged, and as a result, they opted to put hands on that co-captain, and he went into defense mode, and people came to his aid. Now that hate crime thing, though, I think will happen. Um, I think that that's going to be something that's going to be kind of game changing, game shifting for the country to see a hate crime in Montgomery, Alabama. One of the residences of MLK, and see how that's going to transpire 60 years later after that. Um, but I think it's a necessity. You know what I'm saying, and it's something that I think Vaughn said it. You know what I'm saying. There were people there who had cameras out to capture it, and I've seen footage from the dock, footage from the boat. It is, unfortunate that dude with the chair got to catch his charges for the over assault, I guess how they deem it. But everybody was well within their right to do what they had to do, man. And I told my mom and I told my wife, if I would have been there, I would have acted out probably the same way, because it's an instinct thing. It's like you seeing one of us getting tormented just for doing their job, getting verbally assaulted, and it turns physical, and then it turns to what we know in our area is maiming by mob. You know what I'm saying? That has been 30 years ago. They would have hit her with that bubba chuck. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a maiming by mob right there. So it has to go, I think, in front of state court, and I think they will make it a hate crime. And I think that those people will have to go to jail, and they're gonna have to do their time in prison for that.
Okay. Thanks, class. This is what I want to throw in the monkey wrench, and I'm just speaking for me, and I really want to know y'all opinion on this. Now, there was part of the incident that I was very conflicted about, because the way I was raised, my personal opinion is that there is no instance that I feel like a man should put his hands on a woman. I always joke, but it's not a joke. I always say the only way I'll put hands on a woman if they beating up my mama or my old lady. Then I'm gonna have to do what I got to do. But other than that, I don't see. So I didn't really like brothers beating on that lady like that. Not granted, she deserved to get her ass whooped. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, she deserved because she put herself in that predicament. But I just wish some sisters would have did it. I didn't really like the imagery of the brothers doing it. What are y'all thoughts about that?
Yeah, there were some women who did get busy with the women, but I do agree. Like, it's an ill point in time. You got Shields talking about fighting Thurman. I just saw something that happened in Atlanta where similar to what you were saying that Walmart employee touched his woman while she was holding a baby. He reacted. That turned into a whole melee of bottle throwing and stuff like that. So when you got that gender bending type of situation, and we come from, the 80s, we were raised a certain kind of way. But then at the same time, the flip side of that coin, though, everything is so gender bending in 2023 as is, man. I mean, people are paying this one day, something on another day. It's kind of like a leery situation. So I feel like I agree, no man should put their hands on a woman, but in today's climate, with the way everything is bending around gender and preference and pronoun, I understand in the heat of the moment, just the confusion and trying to make sure that you and yours are safe. And it's an unfortunate situation that it was a masculine, feminine type engagement, but in that type of situation, you don't know who has what in their hands, who's coming from where to do what kind of harm or good. And the police, that were there, all they did was act with pepper spray. Like you said, they were very well contained in that type of situation. So anybody else could have been coming with anything for fair game or unfair game at that. So it's kind of hard to weigh it for real.
Anybody else want to speak on this?
I'm gonna definitely get straight to the point. Straight to the point. I totally agree with what you guys are saying about the guys, our brothers fighting with the women. But to S-Class point, like he's saying, like, you don't know what somebody got. You're just in the heat of the battle. You're in the heat of the battle. So when I turn and you didn't look like me, I'm just swinging on you. Now, the guy that hit the lady with the chair, though, that was a little too much. Like, I know he knew that was a whole lady sitting on the floor before he let that whole chair hit that lady in the back of that head like that. But at the same time, for the place and the location, man, they didn't care about our sisters, our aunts, our queens. They didn't care about none of our females back then and the stuff they were doing to our people. So, man, she lucky she alive. Let's just be real. She lucky she alive.
And she's not innocent. When they jumped that black man, she was one swinging and kicking. She was swinging and kicking, though.
Can I get in now?
Yes, sir.
I'm back now. I had to take care of a few errands, but my point of view, and I'm 42, bro. I come from Smithfield, so it's still points of Smithfield where it's a ballpark on the back roads where it still say colored and whites only. So you can still ride the back road. It's kind of overgrown now, but if you know what you're looking for, you can still see the sign on the ballpark where the bathrooms at, and you see this shit, and you can see some of the other shit. So when you in that environment and you fighting, yeah, when old boy with the chair, now man, that fight would have kept going till the police seen him hit that person with the chair. That shit would have kept going on some real G shit. They would have still been fighting. When he hit that person with the chair, that's when they were like, "Oh nah, this going too far." Now hitting the women, I don't. Hey, look, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and act all innocent. And you put your hands on me, I try my best to keep my composure. But you put your hands on me, you lie to get what you asked for.
Mhm.
And you fighting, and we fighting, we brawling like that. Hey man, you and you, hmm, hmm, you gonna get what you're asking for, and that's just my opinion.
Respectfully, COP, what's your thoughts on that, man?
Um, as far as yeah, man, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like it you know, it comes to a point where you know, we it's hard, man. Like you said, it's a melee. Um, of course, I don't agree hitting no lady with no chair. Um, I don't. I mean, she was throwing punches and kicking, but she wasn't doing no work. She was an older lady, like saying no work. You know what I mean? That jab wasn't doing nothing to nobody. Um, I think it's crazy, and I think the racial energy made it. You know what I mean? Made it even more intense. You understand?
Yeah.
So you know where it's at, the place. You know, really, man. You know what I mean? No disrespect. I know there's a lot of Southerners on here, man. I don't know why you act up in the South like that, man. Like I'm from the North, man. We don't really deal with that too much. But they still down here acting up, like they still back in the, you know what I mean, before the Civil War down here for some reason, man. You know what I mean?
You
I don't know
really?
what's happening. So you know, maybe y'all gotta, you know, put a couple of other people on their back to show them, you know what I mean? That it's not sweet. They can't do that no more. You know what I mean?
I see you make a very interesting point. Um, because I've heard how Northerners talk to each other,
Nah,
and I done heard people of opposite races fussing at each other, but it is not typically looked at as racist when it's done.
nah,
Like
nah.
y'all all seen Northerners and how rude it can be, and
That
fuck you, fuck off. Y'all have
nah.
seen all that,
That
and they
ain't
going about their business. In the South, you can't do that because racism is too tied into the cloak of what was built down here.
Mm.
I've
nah.
seen it up north.
Up north
But see, another
ain't
thing too, though, XX, see what they don't understand. Just like right here in Virginia, just like right here in Hampton, Newport News, you can't even see some places out Yorktown. We still got sundown cities, sundown towns.
Yeah.
the north ain't
You see, you go
all it's
across that
cracked up
bridge,
to be.
you go across through Yorktown. There's still places you don't want to go at nighttime, dog.
Right, facts. I ain't going up coasting tonight.
Yeah.
What you, Black? You was saying something.
Um, well, a couple things now. First, it's a couple places up north. I would say when we talking about like New York, Jersey, like Philly, it's a lot of black people also in those areas. So the white people are a little bit different. But if you were to also go into those same areas up north, trust me, they are just as racist, if not more racist, in parts of Pennsylvania, what you know about Boston, definitely other parts of New York, Connecticut, New Hampshire. Like the North ain't like that. It's just more so that Tri-City area. Outside of that, trust me, they get busy. They'll still tell you how they feel, still
I know,
let you
yeah.
know. Like it's still a little bit wild. So I just want to let y'all know that way you don't slide up there just
Yes.
talking crazy to anybody. And yeah, nah.
Hey,
But
big phrase. It gets wild, but it don't get crazy like it do in the
I
South,
mean,
bro.
nah,
Like they
it
not as
don't.
they not as blatant as the South, bro. Like they
What?
are blatant down here. Like don't get it twisted. Racism still everywhere, but they are blatant it
Nah,
Who,
like
I
who,
would
they
say
gotta
this.
hold on.
outnumber you.
I,
They gotta
Hold on, let
outnumber
me
you up
clear it
north
up.
and feel
Man.
real comfortable and still snicker. But they, man, I
they
didn't.
ain't
I,
as
man,
blatant as putting their hands on you. I'll say that. Like I've never seen them
Let me
escalate to
let me
that point,
let me
but
clean it
they'll
up. Let me
still
clean it
say,
up for you, Fred. Are we speaking about white people being racist in the South?
Yeah.
versus
Yes.
white people being racist. Okay. What Phrase is saying in the north, up north, everybody's fucking racist. That's what he's saying. Everybody, the Bronx people, the Mexicans, the Italians, the Jewish, the Spaniards, like everybody's racist.
I wasn't saying that.
You know
But
why?
I understand.
But Vaughn, I don't really agree with that. This is why I'm gonna tell you. No, listen to me.
What?
Listen to me. I feel like everybody stay with their culture, but to say racism means I hate you. They don't hate you, bro. They just yo, keep away from my girls. Like that. This is culture stuff.
Huh?
Culture and racism is two different things, bro. Like if we just rocking
I agree.
and we don't want to be bothered, I don't think that's the same thing as having.
We're not saying there's no racism or no. That's not what we're saying, Vaughn. What we're saying is nowhere up north is black people the majority. Yeah, you can find them in Harlem, Brooklyn, parts of Philly, but in the South, it's damn near 50-50. And we still have to be careful because of the power structure down here. How the hell is that when we 50-50? We 50-50 down here. Up north, black people is what, 13% or less? That's crazy.
I like your point.
You never notice NY dudes? Think about all the NY dudes who come down here and immediately go to jail just because they don't know the lingo or how to talk. And they feel like, why I gotta buy? Yo, what we have to do with you, Vaughn, when you got here? We was like, nigga, you're not in Queens, yo. You can't talk to police like that around here. And it took you a while to understand.
Understood. And that's understandable. But I like Frey's point. I just really like his point.
Yeah.
I feel like
I know about Manhattan, New York, parts of Boston. We know this, but these are isolated places.
Right, but see, to me, y'all saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong, because by definition, you're not wrong. Racism is hate against another group of people, but racism is also being able to control the people as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just hate. You know what I'm saying? I could be racist and not hate you, but I can know how to control you. You know. So,
do you feel like people up north? Like let's stick with our African American people, because this is more nuanced than what we're saying. Nobody's saying anything wrong. We all are right. But what I'm asking is, do you feel like people, let's say Pennsylvania on up, do you think blacks in that region can speak more freely and be more opinionated about what's actually how they feel than, let's say, Virginia on down?
That's a fact.
I feel you might be you asking the wrong person, because I feel like I should be able to.
Nah, it's a setup for
failure.
You
said should. It's
a trick
you
question.
Said should. But guess what? My doctor said I should be 150 pounds. So I don't want to talk about should. I'm talking about what is.
Bro, listen, hold on.
Well,
let me help you. Up north, they get to the money, bro. You know what I mean? Like, there's Italians up there that don't like us, Mexicans. You got Africans that don't like us. They from Africa, but it's different, right? So you got all these things that don't like each other, but they get to the money. Down here, they'll let you know they don't, even if you paying money. You could be in the wrong store. Jokers look at you crazy. You'll be uncomfortable in some places. You'll be uncomfortable in some places. I ain't never been uncomfortable in North. I felt out of place, like, whoa, what's all these? You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never been uncomfortable. Like, I've been uncomfortable down here sometimes. Like, yo, it don't look right. It don't feel right. Nothing. You know that, sport.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Here's the thing.
I definitely agree.
I'm glad you said the control thing. Even if I don't like you, if I got more bread, I'm going to just treat you different. You know what I mean? But it ain't going to be on some, a joker might swing on me or they might run me out of it. Ain't nobody running nowhere up north. It's not happening. But down here, It's a great possibility, bro.
Man, I think I think Frey's point is saying people they gonna let you know how they feel, whether if it's up north or down south. But I think up north it's more aggressive. It don't come with like I'm gonna immediately take this black man to jail. It don't come with that. You know, me and the cop, he might take his whole uniform off and let me fight him up north.
All right,
But
all right.
down here,
I got you.
Let me say it like this, Vaughn. Let me say it like this, Vaughn. If a white person was to kill you up north, they'll feel like they can still go to jail. We've already seen white people feel like they can kill people in the south and get off. That is the difference. So they'll
Right.
still tell you, they'll still
Right.
do everything, but they're not going to go as far as to commit whatever action that some of the South has done. Now, don't get me wrong, it might be a few, but for the most part, they're not going to go that far, but they'll still cross any rational lines, morals. They'll still do all of that. They're just not going to go as
Yeah.
far to maybe do some of the crimes.
I can see that. I can
Hold
see
on.
that.
I got another thing to add to that too, Phrase. I think that'll clear it up. Up north, my opinion, my experience, they more subliminal. Like they not
Yes.
direct. They're not direct. They subliminal. So you'll know, like, yo, he trying to play, or yo, he not trying to let me go because of this. Down here, they're direct. Like, boy, where you think you at? Huh? What? Why you talking? You know what I mean? Like, they direct, bro.
See,
Straight to the point.
I look at it. I look at it a little bit differently, though. I understand what you're saying, but this is what I'm saying. A black and a white man can have an interaction in New York where they're just being rude ass New Yorkians. It has nothing to do with race, and they might say "fuck you, you mooly" or "you nigga," and they just doing that because they arguing. They really don't hate each other. Like, not they hate each other because of the argument. I've seen it. There's no racism involved with it. Where the same conversation happened in the South, racism is all in it. I'm not saying that's every case because there's racist people everywhere. But the interactions up north is just rude ass up north people.
Different.
But let me ask you this: Do you think black people are racist?
I think everybody is racist.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got to
Prejudice.
say
It doesn't matter
yes
what
on that.
level.
Prejudice.
It matters what level. It's
Nah.
different. It's different levels.
Nah. I'll say prejudice because the racist in the words that they use it in society includes a part of hate. I don't believe everybody has that hate part, so I would say prejudice from it. Now,
It's some that are though.
no,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's like, for instance, I don't hate people, but I have those prejudices from me just being raised, being around certain cultures, watching
Yeah.
what they do. So
Yeah.
like, it's just natural in certain prejudices. I can't take away, but it's
Yeah.
not that I don't like them, hate, or have anything against. But I still
Yeah.
have some things where it might not truly be like that for all Chinamen. But at the same time, I shouldn't be calling them Chinamen. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this because this is what I toy with. This is what I battle with. Me and P had a conversation about this. Is it racism or is it prejudice? Because I understand when white men hire people that look like them, I don't necessarily consider that racist. Because I'm in a position to hire people and I pick the black people every time, consistently, every time. Am I racist?
I feel like it's only racist if you have a
Prejudice.
white candidate better for the job and you choose not to pick them.
That's being pro-black. That's something different.
Well, that's
How
a
many
good question
white
because technically my uncle just won a lawsuit in Kansas for kept being looked over for the job that he was highly qualified for.
Mm. My next question is how many white people have got jobs that want the best candidate?
And that's how he won the lawsuit right there.
man, I mean,
So I feel like it's a natural inclination to help people that look like you. I don't think that's necessarily racist.
Damn, I wish I could get him up here.
in some cases,
I want to let me see if I can call him. I want to be able to call him on the other phone and see if I can let y'all hear that because that's a great question.
I think, oh man, that's a great question, man. But yeah, I mean, man, it go both ways. It can go both ways, depending on who's at the table. See, you doing it to help put your people in position without a hate bone in your body. Where
Mhm.
if we do take a racist somebody from another culture and they are in your position, they're probably gonna do it for a racist motive. You know,
Nah, that ain't
it's
fair. You can't say that, Vaughn. That's what I'm saying. It's all about
I mean,
intentions. Like
I'm
if
saying
you have to have,
that's what
like
I'm
how
saying.
he
It's
said
about the
about his,
person.
like how he said about his uncle. Like you have to have like almost like that constant. If you're doing an experiment, you know how you have that constant that doesn't change. Like you, in that
Hmm.
sense, his uncle was the best, but he was able to see consistently that motherfuckers getting hired. That's not. If I'm consistently hiring black people, you can't even say I'm favoring them until you give me a white person that is more qualified.
More
Is
qualified,
more what I'm
correct?
saying. So it's not prejudice or racist until you get to that point. Because until then, you really don't have to check my
Yeah.
motives.
Hey, the thing is, everybody does it though. Look at any organization.
Facts.
If the highest ranking person is a Q or a Kappa or a Zeta, I want you to watch who the people under them are.
A
Oh, yeah.
double XL.
Yeah.
Hold on, right quick. Hey, what's the question so I can relate a question to him right quick?
If me as a black man hire black people over the white counterpart, am I racist?
If my homeboy as a black man hire his counterpart over the white selections, is he racist? And I was telling him about your situation in your lawsuit. Can you speak on that?
Right. So is he black
Yes.
and he wants to hire another black person?
No, we had a discussion. Tell him about your lawsuit.
Okay, hang on. Let me clear the line first. Let me get Auntie on the phone.
Okay. One moment, X. My apologies.
I got you. Let's Travis.
This me right here on.
Okay, Greg.
Yeah,
Call you later.
Okay.
Okay, Travis.
Hey, lady.
Okay,
we had a group discussion and you was the perfect candidate for this discussion.
Okay. And you're saying that he wants to hire a black man wants to hire a white person.
No,
And
he want to hire. Is it bad that he want to keep? He wants to. Remember how you say you kept getting looked over, but you was highly qualified for the situation?
Right. Right.
So he's saying, is it bad for him to hire us over other people?
It's not bad. It's only bad if the person's not qualified. If the person don't have the credentials, then yes, you're doing the same thing. But if the person has the credentials, and it doesn't have to be every single one, if the person has the credentials, then the rationale behind that is, as a person who's responsible for decision making, for budgeting, for whatever the responsibilities are, all things close to equal, you have an opportunity to pick someone that if you believe you can trust that person more, that becomes a huge variable in the equation. I appreciate that, man. That's something to think about.
He said he appreciate that. That's something to think about.
Very important, because when you're surrounding yourself with a team or with vice presidents or whatever next in line, then those people are tasked with representing your interests when you're not able to be there. And that trust is huge, because if you have to concern yourself that somebody might try to be second guessing you or running their own agenda in your absence, then that's taken away from your ability to lead. I like that, man. Okay, tell you, Uncle, I appreciate it, man.
Can you hear him?
Close to. Yep, no problem. No problem.
Thank you.
No problem at all.
Thank you. Sorry to bother you. Love you. You good. All right, I'm gone. Okay. Appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you, man.
Tried to tell
that
you.
made the conversation rich, man. I love it. So Vaughn, it's on you. I know we're getting close to that time, man. What you got?
Yeah, we're in overtime already, but go ahead.
My apologies, man, but that was just
no. You good, brother?
No, we good. That's good content right there. Ain't gotta apologize for that one. That's why we let that go. We ain't say nothing. I was cooking. That's good content right there. Where my host at?
Is Vaughn talking?
Afraid, where they go?
I don't know. I see Vaughn shit light up, but I ain't hearing that. Can you hear me, brother? I don't know. Pete, what you trying to do? You trying to talk about that assistance or what?
You said, what we talking about? What you got on there?
You trying to talk about that government assistance or you got to slide?
Hey, look, I wanted to put something else on y'all real quick, too, if that's possible.
What you got?
Go ahead.
What you got?
Make sure y'all check out the movie Sounds of Freedom, man. Don't let that go past y'all.
When that come out?
Yes. What is it on?
Chat, you know, people, what they doing with these kids out here in the world, man.
Is it on?
What is it on? What?
It's on Mel Gibson. It's on the agency. How the people?
No. The platform. The streaming.
No. Like Netflix, Hulu.
Oh no, it's in the movie theaters.
Okay.
But they trying to make it like it was the number one selling movie. But they trying to, how can I put, what's the word for it? When you go to the movies, they trying to make it seem like, oh, it's not playing, or something wrong with the movie.
They're trying to suppress it.
Right. There you go.
What's the name of it again?
Sounds of Freedom.
Fire stick that to
Okay. Definitely on the radar.
Hey, Praise, we could do some quick hits and get out of here.
All right, what you
so we got two left. We'll just go around to everybody and cook. We got an update on Jonathan Majors. Hold on, mad noise. We got an update on Jonathan Majors. His trial is pushed back, but they also have a rumor that his accuser then disappeared. Like old girl that said he done smacked her up and did all that. You know, they think about putting some charges on her, due to some evidence they found. So, you know, it's a different story it's a different story out there than initially was put out there. So my question is this: do y'all feel like, you know, first of all, you can say your opinion on the situation, but do y'all feel like media-wise we get a fair deal when we're accused of these things? And then do you think it's the same amount of publicity when it's not guilty? We'll start with you, Ray.
Absolutely not. It's never fair. See, once you're held to a media standpoint, or just let's say an influence or a social standpoint, people already start looking at you differently. They look at you as if it's something like you're not a person, as if they can't touch you just because they see you through the box that they're looking at. So absolutely, they're held to a different regard, and to a different degree. And to your point, negativity sells. So absolutely, when something bad happens, they're going to cover it everywhere. But once the rectification comes out, you're not going to hear about that. To your point, you know, it's not going to have as much news. You're not going to see, if you turn on the news and seeing positivity all day, you know, you'll be like, all right, cool. I'll turn to the news when I want to see something positive, or I want to watch the weather or something like that. Most old people watch the news daily because they're constantly seeing how the world is declining, whereas that's just what the news shows choose to show you. So absolutely, I feel like it's treated unfairly and held to an unfair degree.
XL?
I agree with Black, but I feel like that's for all movie stars. Is it more for minorities? Of course. But I feel like all anybody in the public light is on the chopping block. There's a video circulating now. It's about a principal, and she's arguing with her neighbor. She don't say nothing wrong. She's actually in the right. But they turn her alive. You're a principal. You're supposed to be this. This woman's at her house. she can be whatever she want at home. But that's what we do with people who are in the public eye, man. We expect them to be perfect. We'll sit on the couch and say such and such is a crackhead while we smoking crack. It's weird.
What you got, Trav?
Man, I'm just, hey, lost in thought right now. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, dog.
I got you. Sit on it. 4-5. How you feeling?
Had to tend to the youngin for a little second, real quick. Can you bring it back for me?
It was we talking about Jonathan Majors.
Oh
And,
yeah.
he had, he got the trial, but now it's delayed, and then a lot of new evidence is coming out that it ain't what it ain't what she necessarily portrayed it to be, and there's
Right.
even a rumor that she's missing. Like they can't even find her right now. So the question
Yeah, I
was,
did hear that.
is it unfair? How the media kind of you get a lot of publicity when it's out there and he looked it bad, but you don't really see this headline a lot of places.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. That's just that's the power of, spreading the negative. It's easier to spread the negative, or it can catch on a lot quicker than spreading, positivity. But as far as that go, man, I think even I know when I spoke with Lon on different things I've been through in my life in terms of being accused, and that thing right there, man, is no joke. So it's crazy because it can still weigh on you way after the fact, So I just hope he really gets everything sorted out. I'm still learning, I guess. Old girl, supposedly.
Pause. What you got?
I don't know. I really got nothing for that. It's not on my radar.
I got you. And finally, let's finalize here in that phrase. You can take us out. I'm gonna start with you, X, because we had this conversation, and you called me a Republican. So we want to know government assistance as far as housing assistance, the EBT program, which is SNAP, the food assistance, medical assistance, TAN. You see a lot of things online. A lot of mixed feelings. This is keeping households apart. You think government assistance is helping or hurting? We're gonna start with you, Double X. 450 up
I
next.
feel like government assistance is helping and hurting. Yeah, there are people taking advantage of it. Yeah, there are some people who have become dependent on it. But I still think it's overwhelmingly helping the people that need help more than the people that are taking advantage. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat where, like you said, I think the ratio of people that are benefiting from it versus the people that are misusing and abusing it, I think that's pretty lopsided. So ultimately, there needs to be some revamping though, because I always felt like it's wild. In me, I'm a person that gets the EBT and things like that, and like maybe some parameters on when and how and where people can use the system in a certain way, but. Again, but yeah, overall, I feel like it's doing more good than bad.
Praise, how you?
Shit, I feel like it. I feel like it helps to the point that it hurts us. Like for instance, you know how when cell phones came out, some of us just wasn't as good as math because we had a calculator on it. So like that type of deal. I think it helps us to the point that it hurts because it takes away so much from us, whether it's just something in the household, whether it's you learning a skill. And don't get me wrong, everybody has a different, situation. But one thing that I've come to learn is that most situations that all of us encounter are mental situations that we decide to put ourselves in. If it's something that we feel like we can't do, if it's something to feel like, well, there's no way that we can get out of it, there's no opportunities, there's nothing around the corner, whatever the case may be, I feel like that's always a box that we put ourselves in because there's always something better. We just may not have found it yet. If you feel like there's nothing, it just might be that you haven't found it yet. And I do feel like a lot that might be on the system, not misusing it. They're using it as an opportunity to become better. But I feel like that opportunity is really setting them back as opposed to helping them forward. Because they are moving forward. Like for instance, when you go to the airport, you know how they have that escalator going forward? It's not going up, it's just moving forward. So when you walk on it or when you stand on it, you move forward. But if you walk on it, you go at a faster pace. I feel like that is essentially kind of like how the world is moving around us. If you're on the system and you're still walking in the airport, you know, you can still get to place, you can still use all the facilities, you can still benefit just like everybody else, but you're not benefiting as much as everybody else. That's kind of what I feel like the system is to most people. I won't even say our culture. I would just say most people.
Smalls, what you got?
I think it's definitely hurting us, and I'm not talking about any particular culture or race, and just as human beings, I think it's hurting us in a lot of different ways. Most people get stuck, and they just satisfied with what they can get from the government and don't try to push or push their dreams or their goals. Some people become fearful and they never step outside of their cities or states, um, things of that nature. So I think in a way it hurts us a lot.
All right, I'm gonna end off with you know, I'm in, even though X called me a Republican, I have my opinion on the phone with us. I think it's in both. I think it's in both places. I think it's helping and hurting. I think it's helping those that need it. But also it's hurtful for they got this saying in the space called able body. That means you're not disabled. That means you're not elderly, and you might be single parent, but they got requirements like if you a single parent of a child over 6, which means most children 7, 8, 9 they going to school, so you kind of get that break in the action right there to do something part time. So I think the education piece will help it out and just requirement for the able bodies. I mean, if you disabled or you elderly or something like that, they really need it. And I think it's taken away, from the benefits they could be getting probably more because they need it because they're not able to work versus people that's able to work. We should have a shorter time span for them, help them get on their feet and give them some other options because with the internet, there's a whole lot of options out there, man. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. Take us out of here, Phrase.
No doubt, no doubt. We about to round robin it. Let us know what you got going on, where we can catch you, if it's anything that we need to look up or research. 4/5, what you got?
Sir, yes, sir. Right now it's the same for me. 450SIXX on Instagram. 456. You're looking at bio. Pretty much got the link to this album here. That's my artwork, Graffiti Teardrops. If you haven't gotten tuned, try to get in tune. Plus, I got some freestyles, battles, and things of that nature. But yeah, that's my media main point of contact. The Instagram.
Double X.
Yo, what's up, fellas? No, October 7th, we got Ricky Rose in the building at Ted Constant Center on ODU campus. We will announcing the rest of the lineup, somebody new every week, so be on the lookout. It is an amazing show. This is the biggest show that I've had the pleasure of throwing to this date. So y'all pray for me because I ain't scared, but I'm nervous. So, yeah, October 7th, man. Other than that, download that GoatVerse app on Roku, Fire Stick. Shout out Devon and Phrase, man. Y'all been doing a great job. I know I gave y'all a lot of slack, but love what y'all doing. Let's get it.
No doubt. What you got, CEO? P, are you there? Are you there, P?
CEO, the greatest debater. Download the GoVerse app on the Rookie TV and Amazon Fire Stick. You know, this is Respect the Go, 6 p.m. ain't Tuesday, man. We back bi-weekly now, so every other Tuesday.
No doubt, no doubt. It's your host, Phrase. Spall's already slid out. Chicken with the rice, rice with the chicken. You can catch me, Phrase, on Instagram at It's Phrase. Look up the podcast on anywhere you get podcasts. Tell my story. Right now on a little hiatus due to family things. But we'll coming out with episodes soon. Probably the week after next. Be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, download the GoatVerse Talk. Well, the Goat Talkverse app. On anywhere you get apps, Roku TV. Otherwise, see you in 2 weeks. Peace out.
Good job, fellas. See y'all.